Speak English anyway, a place where confidence matters more than perfection, and every voice deserves to be heard.
Hey people, I'm Linda.
And I'm Ethan. And today we are talking about something that every single English learner goes through at some point, usually more than once.
Usually many times, and it is one of the hardest feelings in the whole learning journey. Not the hardest moment, not the bake sale, not the taxi, not the wrong word in the meeting.
We are never going to let those go, are we?
Never. But this feeling is harder than all of those because those moments are embarrassing. They are sharp and uncomfortable, but they pass quickly. This feeling is slower. It settles in. It sits with you.
And the feeling is, I am not getting better. I am studying. I am trying, but nothing is changing. I am stuck. And maybe I will always be stuck. And maybe I just don't have a language person.
Yes, that one. Today, we are talking about that one. The plateau, the invisible ceiling, the moment when the progress that felt so clear at the beginning just stops being visible.
And we want to talk about why it happens, what is actually going on, and why, this is the important part, why the feeling of being stuck is almost always lying to you.
Lying. Actively, convincingly lying. Okay, Ethan, have you had a real plateau moment in your English learning? A real one where you genuinely thought about stopping?
Yes, one that I remember very clearly. I had been studying for about 2 years, and in the beginning, the progress was so obvious. Every week I knew more words, every month I understood more. It felt like climbing a hill and seeing the view get better with every step.
Yes, the beginning has that early momentum.
That early momentum. And then around 2 years in, the hill flattened. The view stopped changing. I was still climbing, still studying, still practicing, but I couldn't see any difference. Week to week, month to month, same.
And how did that feel?
Honestly, demoralizing. Because effort without visible reward is exhausting. You start to question whether the effort is even doing anything, whether you are wasting your time, whether you just don't have the capacity for this language.
Whether you just don't have the capacity.
And that is a very dark place to go, because once you start thinking, maybe I just can't do this, it affects everything. Your motivation drops. Your practice becomes less focused. You start going through the motions instead of actually engaging. And then your progress really does slow down because you made the fear real.
The fear created the very thing it was afraid of.
Exactly. It is a very cruel loop. What about you?
Mine was different, but the same feeling. I remember a specific evening. I had watched an English movie, no subtitles, very proud of myself, and I understood maybe 70%. And a year earlier, I would have been thrilled with 70%. But that evening, I felt terrible because I wanted to understand 100%, and 70 felt like failure.
Even though 70 was actually incredibly good.
Incredibly good. A year before, I understood 40, but I had moved my own goalposts without realizing it, and now 70 felt like standing still. And I sat there feeling like I had not grown at all, when actually I had grown enormously.
You had grown enormously, and this is something that happens to almost every learner. As you improve, your standards improve with you, so your awareness of what you still can't do gets sharper exactly as you get better.
Which sounds deeply unfair.
It is deeply unfair, but it's also a sign of growth, because beginners don't know what they don't know. Intermediate learners know exactly what they don't know, and that awareness can feel like regression when it's actually the opposite.
It feels like going backwards because you can now see how far you still have to go. But what you forget is how far you have already come.
How far you have already come. And that's the first big idea today. Progress in language learning is not always visible, but invisible progress is still progress.
Still progress. And there's actually a name for what happens during plateaus. Scientists and language researchers call it consolidation.
Consolidation. What does that mean exactly?
It means your brain is taking all the things it has been learning and organizing them, filing them, making them more efficient, making connections between things that felt separate before. It is not resting. It is restructuring.
So when it feels like nothing is happening on the outside,
Everything is happening on the inside. Your brain is doing the invisible work. The foundations are being reinforced so that the next level of growth can actually happen.
like when you build a tall building, there is a long period where you only see the ground being prepared, the foundation going down, nothing going up. And you might think nothing is happening here, but actually the most important work of the whole building is happening underground.
Underground, yes. The foundation determines how high the building can eventually go. And if you stop during the foundation phase because you can't see any height yet,
You never get the building.
you never get the building. That is a good one, Ethan.
Thank you. I thought about it.
He thought about it, everyone. Okay, so what do we actually do during a plateau? Because understanding it is one thing, but sitting in it, that is something else. That requires practical tools.
It requires practical tools. And the first tool, look back, not just forward.
Yes, because when we are stuck, we are always looking at the distance between where we are and where we want to be, and that distance feels enormous and discouraging.
But if you turned around and looked at where you started,
The distance you have already covered is often remarkable, and you have forgotten it because the brain normalizes progress. Things that used to be hard become easy and invisible. You don't notice them anymore. You just do them.
things you could not do a year ago that you now do without thinking. Read a sentence and understand it. Follow a conversation at normal speed. Catch a joke. Understand a song. These things were once impossible. Now they are Tuesday.
Now they are Tuesday. But Tuesday does not feel like progress. Tuesday feels like normal, and that normalization is actually the biggest trick your brain plays on you during a plateau.
So the tool is write it down. Keep a record, a simple note somewhere. 6 months ago, I could not do this. Today, I can. So that when the plateau arrives, and it will arrive, you have evidence, written proof that you have moved.
Written proof that you have moved, and evidence is the one thing that can argue back against the feeling of being stuck.
The feeling says you are not growing. The evidence says, actually, look at this list.
The list wins every time. Okay, tool 2. Change what you're doing, not how much you're doing.
This one is important because a lot of people, when they hit a plateau, respond by doing more of the same thing. More vocabulary lists, more grammar exercises, more of whatever they were doing before.
And more of the same thing gives you more of the same result, which is feeling stuck.
Feeling stuck. But if you change the type of input, try a new kind of content, a new skill, a new approach, your brain gets a new angle on the language, and sometimes that new angle is exactly what breaks the plateau.
Because the plateau is often not about your level, it's about your routine. Your brain has gotten comfortable with the inputs you're giving it. It has stopped being surprised. And a brain that is not surprised is a brain that is not learning as fast.
A brain that is not surprised is not learning as fast. So, surprise it. Listen to a type of English you've never listened to before. Read something outside your comfort zone. Watch a genre of show you've never tried. Switch from passive to active or from active to passive for a while.
Mix it up. Keep the brain curious, because a curious brain learns faster than a comfortable one.
Always. Tool 3, celebrate process, not just results.
Yes, this one is so important and so underused, because in English learning, results take time. Real, visible, measurable results take months. And if you only celebrate when results arrive,
You go months without celebration, and months without celebration is months of just effort and silence, which is exhausting.
exhausting. But if you celebrate the process, I showed up today. I did my 10 minutes. I tried that difficult podcast. I asked for clarification instead of nodding and smiling.
The nod and smile again.
Always comes back to the nod and smile. But those process wins, they are daily. And daily celebration keeps the motivation alive during the long stretches when results are invisible.
Daily celebration. Even small, even just a moment of, I did the thing. That counts.
That counts, always. Tool 4. Talk to someone who is further along than you.
Yes, because plateaus feel very lonely. You feel like you are the only person who has ever been stuck like this, and that feeling of being uniquely stuck makes it worse.
But every fluent speaker you admire, every person whose English you look at and think, I want that, they all had plateaus, every single one. And they kept going.
They kept going not because they felt motivated. Sometimes motivation was completely gone. They kept going because they had decided, this is something I am doing, not something I do when I feel like it.
Not something I do when I feel like it. That is such an important distinction. Motivation is a feeling. Commitment is a decision.
Motivation is a feeling. Commitment is a decision. And feelings come and go. Decisions stay.
Decisions stay. And the people who talk to other learners, who share the plateau, who hear, me too, I felt that, I got through it, those people stay committed longer because they feel less alone.
Community matters. Even a small one. Even just one other person who understands the journey.
Even one. And tool 5, trust the compound effect.
The compound effect?
Yes, this is one of the most important ideas in all of learning. Small, consistent actions done every day over a long time produce results that are wildly disproportionate to the effort of any single day.
Like interest in a savings account. Each day you add a little, and for a long time, nothing looks like much. The number barely moves. But then one day you look and the number has doubled. And then it doubles again.
Because the growth was happening all along, just slowly, just below the surface, until suddenly it wasn't below the surface anymore.
And language is exactly the same. 10 minutes every day for a year is 60 hours of practice. 60 hours done consistently, with attention, with real engagement, that changes you. That changes the way you hear, the way you speak, the way you think.
The way you think. And one day, and this moment is real, it happens. One day you will be in a conversation in English and something will come out of your mouth. Something natural, something correct, something you did not consciously construct.
And you will think, where did that come from?
Where did that come from? And the answer is, from all the days that felt like nothing, from all the quiet Tuesday sessions, from all the plateaus you sat through without quitting.
From all the plateaus you sat through without quitting. That is the whole episode right there, actually.
We could have just said that and saved 20 minutes.
But then we wouldn't have the tools. Okay, word tour. Let's go.
First word, plateau.
A plateau is a flat area. In language learning, it is a period where progress seems to stop, even though you are still putting in effort. The growth is happening, but it is not visible yet.
For example, I hit a plateau after 2 years and almost quit. Or, a plateau is not the end of progress. It is the underground work before the next level.
Plateau. Repeat, plateau.
Plateau. Next, consolidation.
Consolidation means bringing things together and making them stronger. In language learning, it is when the brain organizes and reinforces what it has learned, preparing for the next stage of growth.
For example, the plateau felt like failure, but it was actually a period of consolidation. Or, during consolidation, your brain is working even when you can't see the results.
Consolidation. Repeat, consolidation.
Consolidation. Next, demoralizing.
Demoralizing means discouraging, something that takes away your confidence, energy, or motivation. It makes you want to stop.
For example, effort without visible reward is demoralizing. Or, the plateau was demoralizing, but I kept going anyway.
Demoralizing. Repeat, demoralizing.
Demoralizing. Next, compound effect.
The compound effect is the idea that small, consistent actions build on each other over time and create results much larger than any single action could produce alone.
For example, 10 minutes every day for a year is the compound effect in action, or trust the compound effect. The small daily work adds up to something remarkable.
Compound effect. Repeat, compound effect.
Compound effect. Next, commitment.
Commitment means a firm decision to do something, staying with it not because you feel like it, but because you have decided to. It is more reliable than motivation.
For example, motivation comes and goes, but commitment stays. Or, she was not always motivated, but she was always committed, and that made the difference.
Commitment. Repeat, commitment.
Commitment. Next, normalize.
To normalize something means to make it feel normal, to get so used to it that you stop noticing it. Progress often normalizes and becomes invisible because you are already past it.
For example, the brain normalizes progress. Things that were hard become easy and stop feeling like achievements. Or, we normalize our growth and then wonder why we don't feel like we are growing.
Normalize. Repeat, normalize.
Normalize. And last one, disproportionate.
Disproportionate means larger or smaller than expected relative to something else, out of normal proportion.
For example, small daily actions produce results disproportionate to the effort of any single day. Or, the compound effect creates disproportionate growth over time.
Disproportionate. Repeat, disproportionate.
Disproportionate. Okay. 3 actions for this week.
3 things. Let's go.
Action 1. Write down 3 things you can do in English today that you could not do 1 year ago. 3 specific things. If you can't think of 3, ask someone who knew you a year ago. They will remember. They always see progress in us that we no longer see in ourselves.
Action 2. This week, try one new type of English content you have never tried before. A different podcast, a different genre of show, an English audiobook, a comedy special, something that surprises your brain and gives it a new angle on the language.
Action 3. Write down your commitment. Not your goal, your commitment. Not, I want to be fluent, but I will do 10 minutes of English every day this week. Specific, achievable, decided. And then do it. Not because you feel like it, because you decided.
Because you decided. Quick recap.
Big idea 1. The plateau is a normal and necessary part of language learning. It is consolidation, invisible growth that makes the next level possible.
Big idea 2, your progress has normalized. Things you could not do before are now Tuesday. Look back to see how far you have come. Keep a record.
Big idea 3, change your inputs when you feel stuck. Not more of the same, something new. Surprise your brain.
Big idea 4, celebrate process, not just results. Daily small wins keep the commitment alive during the long stretches between visible results.
And big idea 5, trust the compound effect. Small daily actions, done consistently over time, produce results that feel almost impossible from where you're standing now. But they come. They always come.
They always come, if you keep going. Okay, question for the comments. Tell us about your plateau. When did it happen? How did you get through it? Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today.
Your story matters. Share it. Take care of your English.
And take care of your heart.
This is Linda.
And this is Ethan.
You've been listening to Speak English Anyway.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, and remember, you are growing. You just can't see it yet, but it is happening every single day.